Morning, Monday morning. This is Chronicles Chapter 2. A little dark out this morning. Really foggy. A lot of big things happened over the weekend with regard to the coronavirus and things. It's a little scary, I guess, to kind of think about. As an engineer, somebody that looks at charts, graphs all the time, looking at the outbreak, and they're mapping it in different countries. So depending on where you're at in the world, kind of depends on when this is going to hit. And this is something the U.S. is behind, which I think is a good thing on the timeline, so we can kind of see how it hit these other countries and know what's coming. And the state of Ohio has made done some things in precaution to help limit people's exposure, which I think it's a good thing. I do. It's some hard decisions, some tough decisions, because they're kind of unprecedented. I don't remember a school shutting down any time in my lifetime for a disease, for a virus. Every once in a while you get school get overtaken by a flu or an illness. They would kind of shut down, but not an entire state. So this is it's pretty remarkable, I think, what they're doing, the steps that they're taking. I hope that it is successful, that the spread of the virus slows. We're still on the leading edge of this outbreak here in the United States, and you look at what it's done in other places like Italy, Spain so far. I don't want to say it's catastrophic, but I think it was certainly more than what people had expected, especially when they're touting, it's a cold, it's the flu. And yeah, the symptoms are like the cold or the flu, but the problem is not that you can't deal with those symptoms. The problem is if you get severely dehydrated or something along those lines where you need medical treatment at a hospital, there's no room, because it's packed with other people that are going through the same thing. So then it becomes a kind of luck of the draw. Did you make it or not? And Italy, from my understanding, is they're treating the younger people first. And I don't want to say let the older people fend for themselves, but just kind of, they're treating the people that are going to be around longer, I guess. They have longer lifespan in front of them, which is unfortunate. In our case, my mom, she's 90. She had her hip go out 3 different times in the first part of this year, dislocate, and she's staying with us now because she can't stay by herself physically. It's not a possibility. So she's gonna stay. She's staying with us until she can have a surgery. And you want to self-quarantine. You want to stay contained, stay away from things as much as you can. And she's in the house. She's not going out and about or anything. They're going to try to go to the house today, or her house, to get some things, because the weather's starting to break a little bit. But you worry about her getting something, because if you're not one of the first ones in the hospital, and so far I think there were 68 deaths in the U.S. So far from this disease. And right now, to the United States credit, I don't think there's not more than 10 is in a critical state, 10 cases, and there's been like 3,500 diagnoses so far. So they're doing really well in that part, understanding the severity of it. I think they're taking an approach of worst case scenario now in the diagnosis and how they're treating people to keep them from that severe part. But you always worry, okay, if it does continue on the trend that we've seen in other countries, would she be treated or not? And the other thing is the difficulty that people have had in the respiratory system with this disease. She just got over pneumonia. She doesn't breathe great. She's not overly active. So, how much can her respiratory system handle is the other question. I just, hope and pray that she doesn't get infected, stays out of our house, and that the measures that the state of Ohio has taken really do limit the exposure for people. That's all. I think that. I don't know how far it's going to get, but this last weekend they wanted to shut down all the restaurants. They can do curbside delivery, those types of things, but now people are not going to be allowed to come into the restaurant to eat. There's going to be an economic impact because of that, for sure. But it's going to be worth it. You look at what would be the worst case scenario out of this, and I think early on in China, before they kind of realized what was going on, how severe it was, and that's even if you believe all the numbers coming out of China, the numbers that they've released so far is like a 5% death rate. And if you apply that to the United States with a population of 300 million, that's 15 million people. If everybody got infected and had to try to make it through, if you're going to infect that many people and this thing happens in a very short period of time, the number's probably going to be worse than that. So you realize when you're up against something like that, hey, you need to take as much precautions as you need to. It's like, 3 weeks without a restaurant, okay, let's try to keep 50 million people alive. we'll manage for 3 weeks. We'll eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches if we have to, provided we have bread. And even then, you got to worry about toilet paper. That's the other big thing. I think as individuals, people are intelligent, but as a group, people are dumb. If that makes any sense. If you were looking at all the risk and different things that could happen, you would be like, well, I don't want to go there. I don't want to subject myself to that. That's dangerous. But then you see people start doing something as a group, and then all of a sudden you got to rush out and buy 6 packs of toilet paper because somebody else thinks it's a good idea, and then the group thinks it's a good idea. I don't know. It's weird. But that's about it for right now. I'm not sure how often I'm going to do these. Maybe once a week. There's a lot of stuff happening over the weekend, so this is kind of neat. Just a little 7-minute blurb about what's going on right now. We'll see how serious things get. That's all. All right. Good luck. See you later.